Hey everyone, John Valero here. I'm here with Bruce Qvale, the owner of the Qvale Auto Group. Bruce, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, thank you.
Yes, sir. Now, your ownership group is legendary. Tell us a little bit about the Qvale Auto Group for those that may not know.
Well, it goes back about 77 years or so, and started by my dad. He was the first importer of MG sports cars to the West Coast and most of the other British cars, West Coast of the United States, and also Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche. So we were sort of pioneers, or he was sort of a pioneer in the European car business back in the 40s and 50s.
That's amazing. And were you guys involved with like the Pebble Beach Concours and stuff?
Yes. My dad was one of the original founders of the Concours d'Elegance in Pebble Beach, and was also part of a group that discovered Laguna Seca Racetrack and the famous Corkscrew, which was he helped design. And we're basically a West Coast family, but obviously now here in Florida. I've been here for 14 years.
Well, so let's talk about that. Now, obviously, you had a number of dealerships on both coasts, pre-pandemic, and then you kind of downsized, and now you've got Audi Lakeland, Brandon VW, and just today, congratulations, you've closed on Alfa Romeo Maserati of St. Petersburg.
Right.
So why this store, why this market, and what are your plans?
Well, the market, we love the market. We're already here with Audi Lakeland and Volkswagen Brandon, so we have a little bit of a footprint here. This one intrigued us because they're two iconic Italian brands.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I love the age that I obviously know Alfa Romeo and Alfa Romeo's history in racing, and also Maserati. We were also involved with Maserati in the 70s and 80s as the US importer. And I've always enjoyed both brands. And when we had an opportunity to add a store in a market where we already have a couple stores, we jumped on it, and we think the brands are very hot and great product coming on both sides. And we're very, very excited about it. And where we're located on Gandy Blvd here is terrific.
It is terrific, there's no question about it. So, I mean, I've worked as a sister store with the Maserati store. I used to work with Ferrari as well. I mean, typically, sometimes the Maserati stores are maybe a little bit slower, but I think that, I don't want to tip the hat here, but it sounds like there's plans to really do some exciting things here.
Well, we have a great team, led by Gina Walsh and various other people that are very important to our success. We've come up with a formula to streamline the sales process for the customer and make it a more pleasurable, quicker experience. And we think that with our ability to get the right inventory, both new and used, and the process, which is a pleasurable one, we think the St. Pete market will be very happy.
Well, I think that's a very important point. And let's talk about the process, because you and Gino have been just absolute pioneers in getting a modern retail process and modernizing the car buying experience. And a lot of people say, through various surveys, that they're not super happy with. And what that means is single point of contact, using an iPad, streamlining the process, shortening the process. And also, I think that you don't do any dealer addendums, you don't do any kind of markups in this environment with tight inventory. Is that have you seen that as a big benefit to the consumers?
Well, we have, because when you say modern retail, I mean, we have, this is, the car dealership model is an old established way of selling cars, and with the technology that's available in the market today, if you don't have the mindset to sort of get with it and change things, you'll be left behind. And not only does it improve our operations, we just see the customer really appreciate it. And when it comes to addendums, I think we've all seen recently over the last year or so that some of these dealers are I call it gouging, because there's no reason to really charge over sticker for anything, because what you're doing is you're treating the customer in a way that you want the customer for long term, and car after car after car, and
relationships.
Yeah, it's a long-term relationship, sales, service, however, and we just feel that we've never done that. My dad taught me never to do that, and I've lived by it, and I think over the long run, it's helpful for us.
A couple quick questions. So where do you see, you're such a visionary and you've been in it and your family's been in it, where do you see the automotive business going? We've got now maybe disruptors from Tesla, Lucid, Carvana, all these things happening. You're just going great guns. What do you see in the next 5 or 10 years for automotive?
Well, it's a big question because it depends on what section you're talking about.
Fair.
Obviously, electrification has momentum that probably isn't going to stop. So I think that definitely we're going to see 50% of the market electric within the next 5 to 10 years. Not immediately, but it's coming on strong. We just feel that there'll still be a need for car dealerships, but they may look a little different.
Yes, sir.
But we're ready to change to be that and lead into that different look to it. We do a lot of internet business. We deliver the cars to customers at their house or their office, and those are things that the traditional car dealer, he never did.
No.
And our goal is to make the process as pleasurable as possible, so it's an enjoyable experience. And if the customer doesn't want to come to the dealership, he doesn't have to.
Letting the customer buy the car the way they want to buy the car.
Pretty much, that's right.
Last question, basically, if you were to kind of summarize the essence or the motto or the competitive advantage, maybe that's the best word, for Qvale Auto Group, what would you say that is for someone that doesn't know?
The competitive advantage of Qvale Auto Group? Well, probably to go on the internet and study and look at our Qvale Way that we sell cars. And it's described well, and we're proud of it, and we stand by it. And I think that's probably will end up being our competitive advantage here in this market.
Fantastic. Bruce Qvale, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and a like. Also share and subscribe out there. Thanks so much. I'm Gandy Blvd for Bruce Qvale. We'll see you next time.
Good question.
Thank you, sir.
Really good questions.
Thank you.